game in this building. The last one on June 7th between these. A season that has been besieged by for the Fever, Ari McDonald, Kelsey Mitchell. Games, their opponents' win percentage when they hopefully would have Caitlin back for at least a chunk of those games. So they want to make sure they take advantage where they can at this point in the schedule as Cardoso starts off with a bucket.
The first set for Chicago, running something to get Camila Cardoso involved, going towards the basket.
Here's Boston against their former teammate, gets denied by Cardoso. Cunningham will fire off on a three. Sophie Cunningham has been dialed in from three of late. Last 6 games shooting at a 58%, or last 2 games, 8 for 12. Here's Nurse, nice find. Williams unable to finish. Cardoso slapped it alive, but just for a moment, and here comes McDonald.
That was a great pass by Kia Nurse, though, as she recognized 2 defenders went with her.
Howard creeping into the paint, shimmies and travels as Indiana turns to South Carolina in 2022. Cardoso went on to win another in 2024. Banham connects on a three.
You can't tell from the camera angle, but sitting here, it's taking a while for the pregame smoke to dissipate in this arena.
There is a palpable haze.
There's a fog.
You are absolutely correct. It feels like a 5 a.m. drive right now at United Center. Knocked away. Here's Boston off the steal. Trying to get it over to Cunningham, needs some help, and Rebecca Allen is finally going to get called for the foul. She was straight games of at least 2 made threes as Mitchell splashes in one for Indiana. Cardoso running the floor, gets denied by Boston, returning the favor.
You love to see it, though. A 6'7" player beating all the defense down the floor. Opportunity.
It's Cardoso against Boston.
I don't know, but did you just see how they were getting into it even before the ball was inbounded?
Those two had plenty of practice battles through the years. Here's Howard. Howard, nice move inside, and Elizabeth Williams, the authoritative rejection. Here's Williams. Now trying to work Howard. Good dig from Mitchell. Came with a clean steal. And then gets fouled by Banham in transition. And it'll be a side out of bounds for 3 on Barbie Day here at United Center. Nice find. Howard to Cunningham. Cunningham might add a layup. Passed it up. Mitchell can't hit the 3, and Cardoso the rebound.
Incredible ball movement, though. The quickness by Indiana that last possession.
Mitchell jitters into the paint, leaves it for McDonald, who scoops it in. Good defensive activity here early from Indiana. That's been one of the hallmarks of their 2 previous wins this season against Chicago. They forced Chicago into 20 turnovers per game in those first 2 matchups. Here's McDonald. Howard gives it up. Mitchell a 3 is good. Second 3 of the quarter for Kelsey Mitchell.
And again, when Indiana's at its best offensively, it's not just how many players touch the ball, but how quickly they move it from player to player.
Here's Cardoso. Tossing out. Allen dumps it in. Williams good position and pops it home.
Elizabeth Williams has great length, both defensively and offensively. Uses it there on the little baby hook.
Ends an 8-0 Indiana run. McDonald flings it out. Howard, the runner, is short. Nurse off the rebound. Look at a push. Dump it in. Cardoso gets inside. Couldn't finish it. Now she does. Good response from Chicago after the run. Mitchell cross court. Cunningham fires. Can't hit.
I know left is Mitchell's strong hand, but that was a ridiculously tough pass that she just delivered to Cunningham.
Here's Nurse. Backs away and buries the jumper as Boston and Mitchell both retreated at the same time.
There's a great flow and pace in this game early.
Despite the smoke.
Or because of it.
Maybe. Mitchell able to drop it in. There are some who say it's actually a performance enhancer. So And it's going to be a foul up top on any of her players right now being hesitant. She needs them to be aggressive consistently. It's a double dribble.
Yeah.
As Cardoso.
She was really finding her groove, finding her offense in an efficient way. We know she's always going to rebound.
Michaela Timpson in. Cunningham run off. 6 to shoot. Backs it out. Here's Timpson. Has it knocked away. Fortuitously to Boston. Didn't get it off. And it's going to be Chicago basketball in the violation. Good action early. And a 1-point Skyley ascend as Chicago turns it over for a 6th time already.
And that was because of the defense of Kelsey Mitchell, forcing her offensive player away from the double drag screen. It results in another turnover.
Boston finds the cutter. It's Timpson who lays it in.
And let's talk a little bit more about those turnovers. That's been an issue for Chicago all season long. They lead the W in turnovers per game.
And one of the huge reasons why the player who was supposed to be their point guard, Courtney Vandersloot, went out with a season-ending injury just a few games in. McDonald maybe a little too much on it, and it's taken by Allen off the attempted save. Here's Nurse, a deep 3. Short. Rebound scooped up by Timpson. Here's McDonald dishing out. Now Mitchell able to pedal through, just couldn't quite finish it. And then Timpson gets fouled from behind.
How you want to defend that action.
Here's Mitchell again. Kelsey Mitchell on a first quarter burner. She has 11 of Indiana's 15. Here's Marquisha Davis, recently let go by the Liberty, playing in her 2nd game with Chicago. Strong side rebound to Hull, just in off the bench for Indiana. So too is Colson. Here's Timpson, the rookie, methodically backing down and finishing over fellow rookie Maddie Westbell.
Timpson's had great activity since she came into this game. She's really been kind of coming into her own the last couple of weeks in her role off the bench.
Banham, who can fire from distance, as we saw at Minnesota in college. Here's Hull, catch, fire, no. And Cardoso, the rebound. Indiana on a 9-0 run. They have a 17-11 lead, under 2:40 to go in the first. Ooh, big screen from Cardoso, and not a legal one. As Boston and Hull, the 5 for Indiana. Westbell, Davis, Banham, Williams, and Nurse, the 5 for Chicago, as Lexi Hull knocks in the elbow jumper. It is an 11-0 Indiana run. Fever coming off an impressive win the other night against Vegas. Banham catch and shoot 3. That one's off. Rebound, Davis able to save it. Here's Westbell spinning inside. Davis eyes the shot clock, gets it back into the arms of Nurse. Nurse able to separate, but couldn't drop it in. Here comes Boston. Boston already 4 assists in the quarter. Looking for a 5th here. Colson at 3. Rims out. Banham, the fling ahead, and Nurse alone for the leg.
Really good recognition by Kia Nurse just to take off as soon as she saw her teammate corral that board.
That ends the 11-0 run. Here's Mitchell. Flips it in, wide open. Boston on the board with her first bucket of the afternoon.
Kelsey Mitchell just has found her way of knowing exactly when to make the pass, when to look for her own scoring. There's just a certain comfort level now with the basketball in her hands.
And that is another Chicago turnover. On pace to surpass that. Here's Mitchell. Out to Timpson. Michaela Timpson gets denied by Williams. Hull gives it up. Chloe Bibby able to drain the 3. Recently signed, and the rookie out of Maryland immediately makes her presence felt. Played a few games with the Valkyries earlier this season, including one very productive one against Indiana. A 9th Chicago turnover. Mitchell scoops it in an 18-2 Indiana run. And the Fever have a 26-13 lead. Shot clock turned off. Banham hoists, can't hit. Rebound tilts out of bounds with 1 point. Muscling in. The rookie trying to gain position, and a whistle as Timpson will shoot.
Actually a practice player for the Indiana Fever when Steph White was an assistant there before. He was a high-level Division I football player for Duke. When his eligibility ended there, he decided to go and play Division II basketball. But he has been such a great practice player. Steph said, if I ever get a chance to bring him back, I want to. And it helps that he's also married to Karina Christmas.
Awesome story, though, Holly, for Stephanie White to observe that from Austin as a practice player, and now for it to have turned into him being a key member of her staff. And back here in Indiana now where that relationship began.
Steph missed a few games early in the season for personal reasons, and Austin Kelly was the one who led the charge, including the last time they played Chicago here. The husband and the wife.
Who's the buffer in your house between you and Steve?
4 kids.
Yeah, all 4 of them. You know, one of the other things that Stephanie White talked about when it comes to Karima and Bree is how valuable they've been in talking with Caitlin Clark about this injury process. You know, they know what it's like and how frustrating it can be to not be on the floor in this league, and how difficult and finicky a rehab process can be. And she feels like, you know, them being an outlet for Caitlin has been really helpful.
And also, they all played different roles on their teams, whether it was a starting star role or coming in off the bench, so can relate to the other players as well, no matter what the role.
I mean, Caitlin's basically an assistant right now, too, right?
Yeah.
After in Indiana. It's a lot of 4-pointers for Team Collier.
There were a lot.
Boston wins the tip. Here's Hull, a 30-17 Indiana lead. Boston, who has 5 assists already, will take the jumper. Back iron it off. Long rebound on Nwede back. Some injury, was questionable to play in this game. No Angel Reese in this one as Cardoso muscles it up and gets the whistle on Boston. That'll be the first. So in her second year, the 3rd pick of the 2024 WNBA draft. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. NBA TV tonight. Atlanta at Minnesota. Prime Video Thursday. Washington hosts Golden State. Ion Friday. Dallas hosting Indiana. LA at Seattle. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. How about the way LA has been playing of late? 5 straight wins, including a thriller yesterday against the Liberty. New York was on the second half of back-to-back and lost Breanna Stewart in that game. But fantastic performance from LA, and they've just been really good of late.
Yeah, last
season.
Finally a healthy year for Ray Stevens.
Banham unable to finish, but the follow is good for Cardoso, and Stephanie White wants a timeout. Nice little push here from Chicago. Here is Mitchell, not that time. Rebound ends up in the arms of Cardoso, her 6th.
Chicago Sky in a zone again, effective on that possession. And Ryan, I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if you don't know the answer.
Okay.
The biggest NBA arena, what is it?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. There's not a ton of variability, so I don't know. McDonald off the steal, will lay it in. There's a chance it is this building.
Okay.
Like, if you told me you got to answer go, I would actually say United Center, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't even know that I'm 48% sure about that.
And I would never ask you a question and say, got to answer go.
Yeah, no. I also appreciate that the things you put me on the spot about are things that I can reasonably still feel good about myself if I get wrong publicly.
Yes.
So it is indeed United Center. A huge portion of these fans were hoping to see her play, and obviously they're not getting to. But she goes out of her way to make sure pregame she's signing autograph after autograph. We talked about the other day in New York when it was 108 autographs that she signed. Well, today signed over 200 autographs was out for a long period of time, signing for fan after fan. So trying to make sure, you know, that she still is accessible to the fans here and helps create memories for so many of them. Yeah, and the emotion, you know, of the fans when she does interact with them and sign with them, it really is amazing to see. Once again, Fisher Plummer, our outstanding tape op, has been counting those autographs to give us those numbers. Cunningham got bumped. We'll go back to the line to shoot two. And Sophie, give it a little smile to the fans in the front row as Rebecca Allen picks up her third. Sophie Cunningham yet to score in this game, but we were talking to her earlier, and the way she's been playing of late, which you look at her numbers over these last 6 games, averaging nearly 14 points, 61% shooting, 58% from three. She said this is what she was expecting this year. Maybe she doesn't shoot that well all year, but she's just felt great. She got herself in the best shape of her life. In camp, was really humming, and Indiana was so excited about her, and then she hurt her ankle in the preseason. And when she came back, she really wasn't all the way full bloom physically, and it took a while for her to get back to the spry way she feels now, and we're seeing the results.
Yeah, and certainly seeing the confidence born from all the work that she put in the offseason with the way she's been shooting the basketball.
3 team fouls on Chicago already this quarter, 4 already on Indiana. Here's Banham. Looking inside, Cardoso working Boston. Cardoso able to hook it in. That's a difficult shot from Camila Cardoso to finish over Boston as Chicago's bench, I think.
Making sure that there's no open looks from 3 out of a pass from Cardoso.
Cardoso has the last 6. Oh, nice fake. Howard unable to finish. Cardoso another rebound, her 7th. Here's Banham. Banham sees Westbell in the corner. The 3 won't go from Onyenwere. And here comes Mitchell blasting down the floor. Cunningham's 3 off. 13-point Indiana lead. Chicago has struggled to score in every meeting this season against Indiana. Good movement here. Banham, oh yeah, got a nice little roll there from 3.
Great dribble penetration and then pass to the corner, extra pass up top. Got the open look for Banham.
Nice cut from Mitchell, but then traveled. Probably should have gone up straight with it.
She was caught betwixt and between scoring and laying it off for a teammate here. Paint touch, spray to the corner, the one more pass up top. Really good offense that time by Chicago.
Really proud of the way you have revived that phrase, brought it back, sort of.
Becky Hammond brought it back from the dead. I've just been keeping it alive.
Right. I'm glad that you are following up Becky's good work. Cardoso muscles in, and a whistle on Boston. That'll be her 2nd. Free throws here for Camila Cardoso.
It's working. Keep going there, right? Get the ball into Camila Cardoso, make things hard for Aaliyah Boston, make her work hard defensively. Hope that takes some out of her going on the other end offensively.
Holly?
Well, you know, there was a time where Camila and Aaliyah were going up against each other in practice all the time at South Carolina because Camila was coming in off the bench on that team when Aaliyah was a starter. But I asked Camila today before the game, do you have an advantage today because you know her game so intimately? And she said, actually, she's evolved a lot. Camila has noticed how Aaliyah Boston's game has changed and grown. And so she knows this is one of her toughest matchups for the games when they play Indiana.
And right now, Cardoso answering the bell really nicely. 12 points, 7 rebounds. Bibby again. How about the stroke of Chloe Bibby? 2 for 2 off the bench from 3.
Especially against the zone. This smaller lineup for Indiana when you have Bibby on the floor as a spacer. Nice take by Elizabeth Williams. Both Bibby and Sophie Cunningham, your 3 and 4, can both drain from 3.
Bibby fakes this one. Cunningham dumps it in. Here's Boston. Boston has it poked away. Guarded by Cardoso. Help coming, and a whistle against Chicago. Be the 4th team foul against the Sky.
Again,
in her first game. I mean, you think, okay, would there be some hesitation? No. coming in right away to do what she does. That foul, by the way, the third on Williams. So 3 on Allen, 3 on Williams. Boston unable to hit. 9-point Indiana lead. Chicago's done a nice job in this quarter, able to trim away a little bit at the deficit. Bibby knocks it away, and it's going to stay with Chicago.
I also think it's Cheryl Stoops, and I'm pretty sure she did it exactly on this date in history. So I'm very proud of you both right now.
All right. Let's see.
I think you're right.
That's correct.
Well, either all be right or all wrong.
Yeah, we're in it together.
Yeah.
It's the kind of camaraderie and teamwork we have here.
That's right.
I mean, we did go on a lovely 58-minute walk this morning together.
We did.
All around Lake Michigan. Cardoso unable to flip it in, but again, Chicago going back to it. Boston then gets tied up. That's going to be a jump ball. All right, let's answer the Aflac trivia question. Who recorded the first triple-double in WNBA history? It was. Had to adjust after the success she's had. Here's Banham. Dumping it inside, knocked away by Boston. That is the 12th turnover from Chicago. Indiana has 8 themselves, a fairly high number. Here's McDonald, lost it. Tracks it back down. Off to Boston. Backdoor, Mitchell the cut, and the finish. Tough bucket from Kelsey Mitchell, who goes down in pain. The Indiana bench was immediately wondering how that was not an and one, and Mitchell kind of grabbing at her groin. We know that's what Caitlin Clark is already out with. And Lexi Hull is going to come and get Kelsey Mitchell, kind of muscular
strain or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Mitchell with to 13 with 2:19 to go in this first half. Third meeting of the season between these teams. Indiana's won the first 2 handily against Chicago. Westbell fading and dropping it in. Nice move from the rookie.
Really nice move because Bibby played solid defense that entire possession. Just really good fade on the mid-range jumper.
Here's Boston facing up and draining the jumper. 4 points for Boston. She has 6 assists and 5 rebounds in this first half. Kelsey Mitchell leads the way with 15 points. Camila Cardoso, 12 points, 7 boards. Cardoso couldn't finish the layup. Here's McDonald. Off to Bibby, catch, fire. Not that time. Hold the offensive rebound, another chance for Indiana. How about McDonald? No. Hull, another chance at an O board, and going to be a tie up there with Westbell. Lower leg issues, soft tissue issues.
No.
I guess that would be the upper leg, not the lower leg, but you get the point.
I do. Boards, and it pays off.
Here's McDonald. Off to Boston. She got it. Not another jumper. Boston 6 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists in this first half. And that is going to be a whistle against.
They're one short of playing 5-on-5.
That's right.
Well, as long as they got a whole other team, but you get the point.
Also, can I just make some, promo notes for our network? We don't need any fancy card to go with it. Tomorrow night on ESPN, we have the Liberty at the Wings, which Paige is having an amazing rookie season. We know how well the defending champs have been playing the Liberty. By the way, Sabrina Ionescu is on her way to first team all WNBA. Then Wednesday, we have the first finals rematch of the season between New York and Minnesota. That'll be on ESPN Wednesday night.
Incredible that it's not till July 30th.
Yes.
Those two teams meet for the first time.
It really is crazy. We're going to have one of their other meetings as well in August, I believe August 10th. But, can't wait to see those teams go at it. Obviously, it seems like New York's likely to not have Breanna Stewart in that game, but they do have Jonquel Jones back. Expecting Emma Meesum in at some point once she gets her visa worked out. Really excited to see the Liberty and the Lynx as Boston hits both free throws. Here's Banham firing away and knocking it down. Rachel Banham with her 11th straight game of at least 2 made threes, second longest streak in franchise history. Only Allie Quigley had a longer one as McDonald blurs to the bucket.
Oh, it started with a beautiful left to right crossover, and then she just navigated the paint with ease.
10 points for Ari McDonald. Done such a nice job since joining the Fever midseason. Westbeld gives it up. Banham launches and hits again. Rachel Banham has that kind of exciting flair to her game. She can get hot in a hurry. Shot clock turned off. 14 from Banham. She has 4 threes on the day. Here's McDonald, 2 seconds. McDonald at the horn. Can't drop it in, that'll do it.